Morning guys, so welcome back to video 39. So in the last videos I got the door frame I'm pretty sure I had this one all glued up in the last one. That's when I finished gluing it up, and then I started playing around with making a door skin. So I've got to do final shaping on this and get that ready. Hopefully it hasn't moved over the weekend, like hasn't taken its, well, where it's meant to be out and changed shape any. So I'll test that back in there shortly and then work out, start trimming stuff off and final shaping, I guess. It's not a lot probably to do to it, but a little bit. And obviously get it set up for the bits of steel. Down here a bit. The bits of steel that go across the bottom and up the edge and whatever to hold the skin on. Alrighty, so I've got this door set back here. I've just got it clamped to this end so I can see down this end here. Hopefully you can sort of see that when I get in the road. Just move it across a little bit. Just, yeah, that'll work. So what I'm looking at here is gap down here. Obviously this is pretty good. I can put in spacing from in here, just so the door can function. Obviously the panel still comes out to here because it's got strips of steel. There's one that goes on down here, and then one up here. There's a strip of steel that slips in here like that, and then obviously your skin goes around it. So there's a strip of steel that goes in here, so you don't have to worry about that, but I'm just looking at the functionality of the door. There's too much material down here, it's too close. The back edge is pretty good. If anything, it could probably just go that way a little bit. So somewhere down about there, I don't really need to, maybe just touch here, obviously just clean that up. And it probably only really needs to come off mainly the front edge and just tape it back towards the back edge and just take a little bit off the back side, I mean on the inside of the door. Maybe just a little sliver. This one here is probably okay. I don't probably really need to take anything off here because it's got a reasonable gap in there anyway. And just a little bit at the bottom. But you just take that off and just tape it back, just so we get a better gap down here. See if we can sort of see on the other side. It's a bit harder because it's got a skin on it, but we'll have a look. Right, let's see what we can able to see. See, it's got a reasonable gap down the bottom. Well, it's tightish down the bottom. It's actually tighter at the bottom than it is at the top. But the body panel's going to hide that on the outside. But yeah, I want to open it up a little bit more than what it is, just so you don't have any issues with the. Because it's a wooden car, it will swell and shrink depending on whether it's the humidity in the air, I suppose. You know what I mean? Wood always changes with humidity. So I just want to take a little bit off down there the edge and just clean it up and just so it's got a little bit better, nicer, cleaner gap. And obviously, when the car is painted, it will be. The inside of that wood will be finished to a degree, if you know what I mean, and it will probably have body colour on it. Well, I assume they have body colour on it. I don't know. Let's have a look. Pretty sure Dad's rugby does. I think. I'll have to have a look inside it. Anyway, yeah. So I'll trim that up, get that nicer. I'll compare the other pieces with their original pieces, and we'll just get it generally cleaned up. I'll just use the DA for a lot of it. And I'll use probably the even plane and bits and pieces. It'll just be mainly hand tools. If I have to, I'll use the bandsaw, but I don't think I really need that now. So I'll grab it and get on with it. Right, so take a little bit off here all the way to the back. and then just a smidge off the front here, and then I'll probably just get the DA and sand that all nice and smooth. So the next piece I want to work on is this, sorting this out. This fits on here obviously. And it's got just a very, very slight recess in here. This piece here is too high. So this has got it on here, and then obviously up here as well. So that's this piece. So yeah, this needs to come down a bit, this whole edge. So I'm just putting these strips on just to see if I'm happy with how it's all working and some pieces. We're looking pretty good. It's not screwed to the hinges or anything, obviously, so like the door can come up a little bit if it needs to. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. The overall shaping of that woodwork. Obviously, might just need to do a little bit for the top of this and get the skin made. Might be a little fat. Flatten it up here a little bit. Like that. Just taper it back a little bit to this piece. Apart from that, it's really, really good. Righty, so I've actually slipped the outer skin back on, the original one, just to see how I'm going for fitting. It's pretty good. Obviously I haven't tried to put it right on, but it's going to fit on there. The only thing I probably need to do is just, it fits pretty good here at the top, but obviously we'll just get a bit much material here, so it needs to come back. Before I just get that pen, I'll tap it. It's not bad. Yeah, it just needs tapered back from probably about, so obviously almost basically nothing at this end, and probably about that at the top. Just, yeah, probably needs just that there a little bit off across the top, because it would fit on here no problems at all, but it just gets tighter and tighter and tighter, and then obviously it just doesn't fit in this corner. So I think if we just take that piece right across the top off, it's going to be really, really close. There you go, guys. So just come back from lunch. I've just been doing some measurements. I've measured the hole in the car to this outermost gap from here to here at the bottom, and obviously from that point to this point, and obviously the same on that side. And then I've also measured this original door as close as I can get it. So this is the measurements I've got, all in millimetres. So I've got about a 12mm gap here, so that's about 6mm. I need to go through and just work it out exactly. I haven't worked out everything yet because I haven't had a chance. I've just written it basically down and grabbed the phone to show what I've been doing. But this is all the overalls. So I need to work out what I want to make this new door panel at, and try and get the gaps nice and even. So this is my guide, and then I'll work off what I've written down here and work out a nice gap ratio, if you know what I mean. So what I'll do now is I might just have a quick measure up and just see what all the door gaps are roughly, and work out what the average is on all the rest of them. So I've got about a 6mm front and back. Is that right? Yeah, 6mm front and back, 12mm overall. At the moment, if I put this door, if this door was back in there, if it had the perfect gap front and back. Now, what it is at the bottom, I'm not 100% sure of that. Yeah, it's the same. It's 12mm. So yeah, 6mm each side. So what I might do is go measure all the rest. I haven't worked out what the top and bottom is. What's that? 50. Doesn't make any sense, does it? I'll remeasure this. I think it was only a couple mil difference, end to end. Might have been higher than that. But yeah, that's a 13mm gap at the bottom, which I don't think it was. I'll just remeasure this and I'll come back to you. Right, so that's about 7 or 8 mils front to back, give or take. Obviously, you can get a little bit with jiggle. I haven't measured the what these heights were from top to bottom and all that sort of stuff to give me an idea, but we can work it in when we're finished. I just wanted an overall picture of what the door was and how this one fitted. So it's pretty close, and I'm only just going on what I can work out with it unbent. You know what I mean? So like I haven't got a perfect ideal, but that's pretty good. So if I can get it back within sort of 6 or 7 mil at the bottom and 6mm front and back, it'll be pretty good. I'll just have a double check of these other doors now and just get to see if I can work out an average and just see what they all are roughly, and I'll come back to you. Yeah, so they're all about that sort of 5 to 7 mil on the front edges. I haven't gone around those radiuses or anything like that, but yeah, they're about that. So that 5 to 7 mil, so 6 mils, yeah, about spot on. So I'll have a measure up, work out exactly how much material I need to cut off this sheet, and then allow myself a little extra, just in, you know, just because I'd rather have it a little bit big, get my top fold in, work out, sit that on the door frame, have a quick measure, double, triple check, okay, yeah, I need to bend it here to get it to go around the door to get that right measurement. I'd rather play with it than have a hard measurement and I've only got like that much to fold around each edge. I'd rather have too much and cut it off, cut 5 or 10 mil off it, and then fold it over. But or trim it off later on or whatever. I'd rather have a little bit extra to play with backwards and forwards than sort of think, shit, I haven't got enough now. Especially with your fold over, because you're gathering up quite a bit. You probably 2 or 3 mil in a bend when you fold it over, and then all of a sudden you've only got a little piece trying to go around the edge of it like that. So I'd rather allow quite a bit extra each side to play with. It's easier to cut it off than it is to put it on. So yeah, I'll have a rough measurement now and work out exactly some pretty close dimensions. And I might do another little just test bend on one of these bits of scrap. Even on this, I might just do 3 or 4 tests just with this little piece, just to get that swage, just work out my exact measurements with this, because I can bend this half a dozen times. I'll just work it out, cut it off, and just see how close I am, and work out my exact measurements that I need before I go. Like that other piece was sort of like a test to see whether I could do it, but I'll work out exact measurements that I need to fold off to get it right. Right, I think I've got what I need. I did it pretty much first spot, first time. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hold it in here against the panel and just see how well it matches up. Yep, a little bit higher. Zoom in a little bit, and I'll just hold it up against this door panel, or against this, what do I call it? Not door panel. Cowl. Let's have a look here. That's too bad. Tweak that up a little bit. Has to be a little shorter. I'll just check it up against here, because this could be different. See what we look. It's probably going to need nuts on, isn't it? Surely. That's pretty bloody close. That's pretty close. I'm pretty happy with that. Alrighty, so what I'm doing, I just marked out my swage lines on both sides for this. So now I'm just going to lay the skin over top, hold one. I didn't move it over much, just a bit. It just shows you how unsquare it is. It's actually, the door is like that. Like it's not dead straight down there either, it's actually kicked out that way. So it's interesting. Yeah, I'll fold that later, I think. Come back with an extra set of hands and get that dead on. Right. I think that'll do for today. Well, for now anyway. We'll come back later and see if we can get that bent. Even if I can just get those two bends in it, doesn't really worry me. Be nice to have the extra set of hands so I can get it right the first time. Don't want to be making it again.
Right. So here we are, once again. I am your host for today, the sassy Irish narrator, and
Fucking narrator.
yes, narrator.
I don't think you're a fucking narrator.
I'll be telling the story.
Fucking motherfucker everybody, I'm morning,
The fuck are you doing?
Hey?
The fuck are you doing there,
Try
lad?
this once.
Oh.
10 times.
Oh.
Morning guys, so next day, I tried to come here last night. I've got a bit of footage, I haven't gone through it yet, and tried to bend that panel. It didn't work. I don't know whether it was just cold and steel wouldn't bend properly, or I just couldn't get it to do what I wanted to do. So I'll try and flatten it out, and what I might do is just get it clamped in the folder, and I might crank up the acetylene torch and just run it across it a few times and get a bit of warmth in it and see if it'll do what I want it to do. And obviously maybe just a little bit of heat in it might be just to help soften it so it does what I want to do. It really rolled last night, like it was well after dark and it was quite cold. So I don't know whether it was that helped. And we've had a good frost overnight now too, so that's not going to help. But yeah, I couldn't get it to do what I wanted to do. It just bent like shit. As you can see, it's way too big, way too high. I clamped it on the marks, but it rolled straight past them, if you know, like it was almost like it was sliding out of the jaws or something. But when I did my other small piece, I did this as a test for my measurements, worked perfectly. And even when I'd redone my other part the other day, when I'd done this piece here the other day, it wasn't quite what I wanted, but it was close. It was very close, and I thought, oh, with a little bit more jiggling, I'll get it. But even this, this was way better than what I ever got that other thing, and it's only that much. That's only about that much longer, if you know what I mean. So it's not as though it's like that much longer, and I was fighting with each material like it's only a couple inches. It shouldn't have made much difference, but the steel was very, very cold, and I don't know if that would be hindering the way it bent. So I'm going to try and straighten it out and have another go. It's not too much out of shape yet. It's not perfect now, but if I can get it to fold right, it'll be right. Right, back in a minute. I'll just remark it all. Right, let's see how we get on here. I've got this clamped on the lines. Light this up, try and warm the steel. See if I can get it to do what I want. Maybe. I think it's better. I think it's better, for sure. A bit of heat out. Maybe I can just manipulate the rest with a hammer and that we form. Maybe with a bit of heat. Just gently move it around a little bit. See how we get on. Right. Turn that off for now. Righty guys. So, I've obviously bent that. Now, I made that the other day, which was a basic form for the shape that I need. So what I've done is I've made another one. So, fit on top of there. So the plan is to sit this piece in the vise, slip that flange down in here, sit it over top, and then I'm just going to go along and I'm going to beat that over top of it and just keep moving along and just pound on the top of here, just gently, well, what I mean gently enough, if you know what I mean, and hopefully reform that panel enough that it will do what I want it to do. So yeah, basically I'm just going to sit it down here, put this in here. I've just got this box here to help hold the material, so I can just keep moving it along backwards and forwards, and just sit the block on top and just bang and move along, bang and move along, and bang and move along. Hopefully get it close, because it's close, but it's not close enough. So hopefully doing there, something like that. That on there like that. Put on top, and then hopefully head it down and help form it. I'm hoping. I might have to just play with it a little bit. That's my kind of plan at the moment. So yeah, we'll give that a wee try and see what happens. See if it does anything. Far away. It's not as sharp, but I can, with see that, with a little bit of body filler and bits and pieces, I reckon I can get that close. That depth's right. This is probably just, this is a little deep in here. But you know, with a little bit of body filler, I'm up against that edge. It's not going bad. What I might do, take a little bit off this, and then maybe even just run along with a hammer and just maybe down a little bit. This is probably just, actually this block here is just, it's a little bit deep. You might just run that through the bandsaw and just take a little bit off it. Doesn't need to be much. So half the thickness of the blade. Yeah, that's what's deeper, because this is deeper. Yeah, I need to take a little bit more off this block, this piece here, and just allow that to go down a little bit deeper, and you'll probably get it. Might do that. Right. Back in a minute. Damn it, I hope you don't push the record button. So I just had to trim the top of this down a little bit, just with the plane. It was up a little bit high, so I want to sit this on top of the panel now, but I'm close to being happy with that piece that I was forming with the block. So I just want to DA this now, get it sort of smooth it out, and then we'll sit this on top of the skin. Right, so I'm going to get into dyeing this edge over this block. I started it before, so I'm just going to go along and just work that edge. And basically go with that just to help square that edge up a bit. Yeah, looking good. I'm pretty right with that. Now, just middle finishing, eh? Sweet. That's pretty close. I'll just line up against that other piece for a second and we'll just have a comparison, but I think we're almost there if you know what I mean. So, I'll strip things off. That's pretty close. I think anything else I'll get out with body work and a bit of paint and a bit of filler and whatever else, you know. I think that's going to be pretty close. Should I get the rest of it? I'm pretty happy with that. I think that distance there is pretty much spot on, and that one there's it's just a little bit deep, so you know, an extra couple of coats of primer across there, even high build, just blow an extra couple across the top and block, just don't block it off as hard, and I think that'll work it out. far, brother, but I've run out of time again. Freaking pain in the ass. So I've just broken those edges just enough so if I need to shift it, I can. But yeah, I basically trimmed off and I've left plenty. Like there's almost an inch. Sort of, well, not quite an inch. Sort of 3/4 of an inch each. So if I need to jiggle it a little bit when I refit the panel once I've got a little bit of shape in it, I can adjust.